Well, we're here at the Valemount Legion with Jan Fennema, who is the president of the Men's Shed Association of BC. And we're here, Jan, for an introductory meeting. I wonder, first of all, before we get into what you're going to do at the meeting, can you tell us what is the Men's Shed?
A men's shed is a safe place for men to go and to talk about anything at all that they struggle with. Most men's sheds have a workshop, and most men's sheds they help out in the community with all sorts of different things.
Okay, give me an example. What kind of things would they help out with?
So a lot of them, what they'll do is they'll work with with us with Northern Health, and with people that might need a wheelchair ramp that can't get in and out of their place. So us in Fraser Lake, we will build a wheelchair ramp for the person, and then as long as they supply the material, we ask for a donation for labor. And there's all sorts of things like that that is done in the community.
Okay, so it's a place for men and their families. It's about community. It's about good health. It's about friendship. It's about having fun with a sense of purpose. So you're actually doing something. Is that a fair assessment?
So the easiest way to word it is, a lot of men, once they retire, they lose purpose in life. They have no longer a purpose, and they just don't know what to do with themselves. Suicide becomes very, very high. So what Men's Shed does is it gives them a purpose again in life by volunteering in the community, doing all sorts of things for the community.
And I think that's a really important thing to note. This is a nonprofit organization. It's part of men's sheds throughout BC and Canada, and it's all run by volunteers, right?
It's all run by volunteer, except for Men's Shed Canada does have a few staff. But other than that, it's all 100% volunteer.
Okay. And approximately how many men's sheds are there in BC?
So there's roughly about 60 in BC present time. We're hoping to get about at least another 20 to 30 this year.
Okay. And I guess that brings us to why you're here in Valemount. So can you tell us what happens here at an introductory meeting? So
we do a PowerPoint presentation to show the men, what a men's shed's all about and where they can lean on for help and how we can help them to get it started, and then where they can go to get discounted insurance, which we will provide through Men's Shed BC, and anything at all they need help with. It's a really, really good group, and like I said, it's all volunteer driven.
Okay, and do you know anything about the history of it, about how long have men's sheds been around?
Men's Shed started in Australia in about 1993, and it was a lady whose father had a heart attack, and she went out to go try find something for him to do, and there was nothing for men. So that's where the first one got started. There's roughly about 3,300 across the world. There's about 1,000 in Australia. I can't say the numbers in every single country. There's roughly about 130 in Canada. Those numbers are keep getting mixed up.
Yeah, that's fine, but there's a lot. So kind of explain the process, because I don't want to leave people with the wrong impression about what you do, because you talk about being a safe place for men to get together, to talk. How would a typical meeting kind of unfold? Run us through something.
So a lot of men, they will not talk to their doctors, they will not talk to their spouses if there's something that's bothering them. But you put two men on a project and work side by side, they will start talking, and next thing you know, there's things that come out that nobody knew about. And this is where the mental health bit comes in. That's why the slogan with all men's sheds all across the world is called Shoulder to Shoulder.
So it's kind of a non-threatening ear then.
Yes.
That you have. Oh.
Yes.
Sort of like going fishing with your buddy kind of
Yes,
thing.
but the big thing with men is we've been taught all our life, like we're the top ones, we're supposed to suck it up. We got the solutions for everything, to find out afterwards we do suffer too. We all suffer with different type of ailments, and we don't want to talk about it because we're not supposed to.
All right. And how long have you been involved with the Men's Shed organization?
Since 2018.
2018, okay. And do you have any stories that you could share anonymously with, about how Men's Shed has helped a person that you know about? You don't have to personally know them, but know of.
too bad Audrey's not here, my wife, because she'll tell you what it did for me.
Okay.
So I was suffering with being on a disability, which is something I've never done. I've always worked with my hands and just absolutely enjoyed working hard. And when I had to go on a disability, I fell into a major depression. Didn't know which way to go, didn't know what to do. I have dyslexia. So all my life I've been told the only thing you can do is physical labor. And that's where the men's shed came along, and it put me in an area where I've never been before. Like everything I'm doing now, I'm still pinching myself that is this really happening, you know? And I have started off with the support of our local guys. One guy took me under his wings. And then from there, I got onto the provincial board. I got onto senior housing in town. I'm the vice president of it. And now I'm also the president of the BC Men's Shed Association. So these are all things I wasn't supposed to do. And I'm doing them, but I have a lot of support.
Right. So fair to say that it kind of kick-started you in the second part of your life then?
Big time. Big time, because I never would have dared to gamble and do something like this, because you know, when you have problems reading aloud and stuff like that, people made fun of you, and they made fun of me all my life. And I don't have that no more.
So for those who may be sitting on the couch watching this in a few days or weeks or whatever they watch it, and they're not sure, what would you say? Find
out if there's a local men's shed in your area. And I know there's one in McBride, and they're starting one here. And if you don't know what to do with yourself, just stop in and just try it out and give it a try. You know, especially if you're struggling. Or the best one is wives. If you notice that your husband is struggling and he needs something, talk him into going. It could change his life.
We're notorious, us men, for not wanting to share and being very reticent about speaking until you're comfortable enough with somebody. So I wouldn't want people to think that this is, you know, like a group psychology kind of deal where you're sitting, you're forced to take a turn and you have to get up and speak your mind. How is it different?
So we don't have psychiatrists, we don't have any of those type of people there. This is just strictly men working with men, and with doing those type of things, you work on a little project together, you start doing other projects, you make friends in ways that you never made friends before. And one of the best things with it is, like for myself, when I had my back surgery in the Valley, I had all sorts of guys down there willing to help out. I can go to another province and stop in at a men's shed, say where I'm from, and the doors are open, and come on in and we'll show you around, we'll tell you what we're working on. It's a really neat thing, and it's not only, like say in Canada, if you're traveling abroad and there's a men's shed there, it's the same type of things that are happening there. As soon as you mention the fact that you're part of a men's shed, the doors are open for you, and they will show you around, and they will take you places, they will do things with you, and they're always there to help you out.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you very much for sitting down with me today. We're talking here about the formation of the Canoe Valley Men's Shed Society here in Valemount, and this is going to be the introductory meeting. So I will post on our interview here an email address where people can go for local information and they can find out a little bit more about it. But thank you very much for making the trip to Valemount and for helping get it going here.
Well, thank you for having me.